Hello viewers, welcome to my channel, Indulge Tourism. Tourism is life. In this show, I'll be taking you around Nigeria to all the tourist sites, incredible journey into the heart of nature, the culture of the people, the natural sites, you just name it. Today, I'm in Abeokuta, the heart of Ogun State. I'm right in a landmass of over 134 acres of land. And it's good to let you know that all the tourist attractions you can ever find anywhere around the world is right here. Excitingly, today, I have the honor of interviewing one of the most powerful men in Africa. Stay tuned. Hello, viewers. We are here with no other person than His Excellency, former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Excellency, sir, kindly tell us a little bit about your personality, please.
Personality?
Yes, sir.
I'm Olusegun Obasanjo. Born in a village. Grew up in a village. And as I always say to people, went to school by accident and joined the army by accident. Then made progress in the army. I would probably say that too is by accident. Then left and went back to where I belong, the village. If you take a village boy out of the village, you cannot take village out of the village boy. So I remain basically a village boy, and I thank God for what God has done for me and used me for in my village, in my locality, in my family, in Nigeria, in Africa, and indeed without being immodest in the world. I would say that's my personality. Really, my personality is the personality of a village boy who
grew up to become the local tree.
Who had the grace of God. And of course, God showed His mercy, His kindness, His grace. And I'm grateful to God for that.
Thank you so much, sir. That's so humbling, I must say. Excellency, sir, while in your administration, I remember vividly getting into tourism. I remember that I read actually that while in your administration, you actually engaged the services of UNWTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization, to come into Nigeria, and they actually provide the tourism master plan in Nigeria. What actually motivated you to do that? And then two, why do you think subsequent administration actually has ignored that part of the master plan?
Well, let me tell you the one that is mine.
Okay, sir.
And then the one that is others, and then you can ask others about that.
Thank you so much, sir.
You know, for me, the totality of the economy of a country or of a community must be handled in such a way that the citizens of that community or the inhabitants of that community can benefit from it. And I believe that tourism is one sector of the economy that should not be ignored. When you look at what can be generated from tourism and tourism
False.
tourism related
Yes, sir.
businesses, because hospitality is tourism related.
Yes, sir.
Even food, in a way,
Yes, sir.
is tourism related. Culture is tourism related. And when you look at how this can serve the purpose of employment generation, wealth creation, then you will see that it's an area that must not be ignored. And what do they call tourism? There's no place that you do not have something that can be of tourist attraction. It depends on how you package it and how you put it. Even food, you package the food. We have a variety of food in this country where people go and all that. Then we have the sea, our coastal line, some beautiful beaches. We have forests, we have hills and rocks. We have the rainforest area in parts of Cross River. We still have that area, primary forest that has not been cut down. So you have plateau, you have hills, Mandela, Obudu, and all that. So that is what, and then when you get experts to package it and you develop it, some countries earn as much as 50% of their revenue from tourism. We may not be able to do that much, but there's no reason why we shouldn't earn substantial amount of revenue from tourism.
Sir, how would you say Obasanjo funds have impacted in agro-tourism in Nigeria, talking about both nationally and internationally? I'm actually looking at taking a perspective of bringing in foreign investors into Nigeria and generating revenue, foreign revenue.
Well, investors.
Foreign investors.
No, just wait.
Okay, sir.
Investors,
yes, sir.
Generally.
Yes, sir. Generally.
They are hard-headed calculators. Investors, generally, they are hard-headed calculators. They watch. And don't underrate them. Wherever they invest. I'll give you an example. When I was president, there was a friend of mine in New York. He had made his fortune, was a billionaire. He's made his fortune in minerals. So I called him one day and I said, look, why don't you come and invest in Nigeria? And he laughed at me. And I said, hey, friend, why are you laughing at me? He said, what do you have that will convince anybody to come and invest in Nigeria? I said, we have everything. He said, where is it? Where is it? And he got me to do the right thing. He said, look, the first thing you need in the mining industry is a very clear legislation. And you haven't got that, such a legislation. And it was true, we haven't got. And I said, okay, advise me. They said, go to World Bank. They will give you a model. And then you bring it home and put it into, your own condition, what you have and all that. So that's number one. Number two, you must have a map that shows what you have or what you don't have and all that. And he said to me, look, those of us who sit in New York, in London, in Frankfurt, and take decision on investment, we normally have more than 50% certainty that our investment will bring good return. And unless you have all these things, which we can study and we can look, and you must also create conducive atmosphere for investors and for investment. Your legal situation, the law in your country must be such that investor can say yes. Even if when we have dispute, I will get a fair hearing. And so what I did was went to World Bank. World Bank gave me a model legislation. We had the legislation. Then again went back to World Bank and I say, look, I want to have, and the World Bank gave us money. We have to also add money to be able to have map of what we have, state by state. So that is the way it works for investors. The genuine, legitimate, honest investors will go for that sort of thing.
So, Excellency, I'd like to go back to the master plan again. I'm actually from Delta State. Invariably, I'm also representing Delta State at the moment here, representing my governor, His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. It pains me deep in my heart to say that so far, it's only Lagos State have been able to emerge with the tourism master plan in Nigeria. Delta State is still growing like the other states, but it's sad to note that just one state in the 36 states, the whole of Nigeria. What actually do you think we can do from Delta states?
No, I think every state has something that can be called tourist attraction. Every state that they do not look into taking advantage of what they have is sad, it's unfortunate. I won't say at this stage I know how many states have a master plan or don't.
Just legal states, just legal states. One.
You will know because this is your bread and butter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But I will go back to when I was even military head of state.
Yes, sir.
I gave each of the 19 states then, each of them money to prepare tourist plan, a plan for tourism.
Yes, sir.
And it was then I really came to realize that so there's no state that doesn't have anything that can go bad. I remember in Para State they were talking of a number of things, drugs and other things. Were here in Ogun State, for instance. We have, if I take Abeokuta, just Abeokuta, the first newspaper started here. First newspaper. That is something of
Yes.
tourist attraction.
Yes.
Olumoro, we have heard of Olumoro. But what are we making of it as a tourist attraction? You have a direct that is indigenous to here. What are we making of it? So you can go on and on and on. It is not a splash. It must be deliberate, consistent, and follow up. And any state you mentioned, there's something that is worth saying, that is worth image tourist attraction. That is not done, it's a pity. So what can we do? We should wake up and
The government, as far as I'm concerned, has been able to give us a soft pedal, as in, okay, the little attractions they've been able to put in place. But how are we creating awareness? What are we supposed to do?
Awareness is
Domestic awareness, international awareness. Yes.
Awareness is that, first of all, you must, because tourism, what you are selling is not
Tangible.
tangible.
Yes.
When you go to the market and you're going to buy a piece of yam, you can see what you are buying. But when you go for tourism, you are essentially buying service. You are essentially buying service. So first of all, that service must be good. Because what you are trying to sell, others are trying to sell.
Competition.
Why should I come to a country for tourism when I can be kidnapped? When I can go to other places where I will be safe and secure and all that. So, you see, our insecurity then tells on a number of things. It ramifies on a number of things. We may know it, we may not know it, but that is the way to look at it. Why should I want to come to a place for tourism when I am not going to have comfortable transportation? Why? Now, so all these have to be there. So you talk of awareness. Again, tourists are buyers. And you have these things to talk about buyers beware. Now you have to beware as a buyer. Why do I go to a place and say, well, look, first thing I will do is, hey, what is there? What can I get? How can I get it? That is, so the awareness, yes, but we have to put our house in order. Concrete. There's nowhere you go that you can't get tourist
attractions. Sites.
And again, depends on package. You have to package it. Some of the things that we neglect, I think that we shouldn't neglect. Preserve them. Keep them. I was saying here in Open State the other day that they are the old things that you can think of, but they are the new things. Until about 10 years ago, we didn't have a flyover in State. Now we have flyover everywhere. In fact, what people say now is that we have more bridges than we have water because of the flyovers. But now, let somebody tell us about the first flyover that become a tourist attraction. The first flyover that becomes a tourist attraction. How you package it, what you say about it. We used to, when I was growing up here in the 40s and 50s, we had a steel bridge over the Ogun River in Lafayette. Now that steel bridge is no longer there. Okay, but there is a railway steel bridge which is now no longer used. Why don't we preserve that and show it? This was one of the very early bridges over the river, which also connected parts of Abeokuta to another part of Abeokuta, from Aro to Ipara. Something. You may not be able to use that bridge again because it's not, but preserve it in such a way that it can serve as a tourist attraction. Now there are so many things, but you say awareness starts with packaging.
I'd like to ask this question now. What actually motivated you? One, I want to start with the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library. You have museums. You have, actually saw the water lake, the man-made lake. So I'm excited. I did some photos there. You have this zoo.
And then did you go to the wildlife?
The wildlife, yes, sir.
Yeah, you see my lion.
So exciting. So what actually motivated you to do all these things? Yes.
For 8 years, I was going around the world. People were giving me things and all that. Those things that they were giving me, what do I do with them? Really, they were giving me those things because I was president of Nigeria. They were, in a way, if you like, given to me because of Nigeria. Now, what should I do? They should be preserved. They should become a monument for the nation. So that when you go around, you see what it is. Or what was I given in Ghana? Or why did they give me this? And you can see it. So that anybody who comes here, you also go through my own background. Children come here. Say, oh, so this is your background. This is how you were born. Oh, if you can make it, I too can make it. And we can write our own narrative. Being honest about it and say, look, this that is happening is not good. So what should happen is this. And then we get it to happen. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much, Excellency, sir.